I wouldn't want them listening in without paying up.
We get it. Just tell us already.
So, you know those pipes that make strange sounds? Don't ever go near them at night. Even if you manage to avoid the guards, you might find something even more terrible there.
Something even more terrible? Like what?
A group of cannibals.
Cannibals? In the Fortress of Meripede?
Every month, they meet a few times in the dead of night. Rumor has it they might be connected to the people that have disappeared here. But what's even scarier is that they have a special proclivity. Since they have no way to dispose of the leftover remains,
Waduh.
they have ways to transform them into other forms.
Paimon might already know what you mean by other forms.
Pasti bohong dia.
You two look pretty skeptical. I've got things to do too.
Kamu
I
bohong.
suggest you just act like I never told you anything.
Idealis Johan, Bang. Weh, halo Bang. Udah nggak ngebug. Tadi streaming gua ngebug cuy. Sekarang udah muncul lagi.
Oh, Paimon doesn't want
Ini
her blood in the
statistik
flesh.
kalau gua ngomong.
Oh,
Apa sih
so
disebutnya?
that's how you see the situation.
Halo Johan.
Huh. You know, Paimon does feel a little better about it now.
Gue udah lama banget mengabaikan game ini. Nah kan, gue juga penasaran sih. Pasti tadi orang tadi bohong. Mending kita cari tahu sendiri.
Vidal isn't here, but the guys who went to work in the morning are back. Let's go ask them.
What? What are you saying? You shouldn't go around saying stuff like that.
Bah,
Just stay away from me.
sombong-sombong banget nih orang-orang penjara anjir.
What are you talking about? Listen.
Ih, yaudah.
Their attitude sure is suspicious.
Ya
Like they're
kan?
trying to avoid us.
Jelas
But if
menyembunyikan
they're being
sesuatu.
so obvious about acting weirdly, do you think they might just be trying to lure us in? Oh, this is
Duluan
looking way
Bang,
too
mau
creepy
turun.
for
Oke,
Paimon.
makasih Johan udah sempat mampir.
So you mean we still need to investigate some more? Okay.
Mamang podcast. Wih, tiba-tiba jadi mangkas. Ini Johan ini salah satu member honorable dari Mamang ya. Mangkas anjay. Gila, nanti Mangkas berkonvergensi ke YouTube channel Mikael BP nih guys ya. Waduh.
Hello, Fielding.
Halo Pak Fielding.
What do you want? Criminals like you ought to be working right now.
We just want to ask you a simple question. Have you ever discovered anything odd during your nighttime patrols?
Why are you asking about something like that? Whatever happens at night isn't your concern.
Well,
Kami dengar suara ini. Gini loh masalahnya.
right.
Ini aja netral aja
It
kita.
happens a few times every month.
Really? I see. But it's not like I'm on duty every night.
Wah, makan gaji
Now
buta
that
si
you mention
Fielding.
it, I recall my colleagues talking about something like that before. They say
Patrolinya nggak bener
strange
nih,
things
nggak
tend to
bener.
happen at night
Jangan
on
ditiru.
pipe clean-
So,
Nggak boleh.
what happens at night on pipe cleaning days?
They just conduct regular cleaning of the fortress. There are 3 pipe cleaning days per month. And it just so happens that today is one of the scheduled days.
Oh, okay. Then we'll keep both ears out tonight.
If that's all, then I'll be leaving now. I advise you not to try anything funny, though.
Don't worry, we don't want any time added to our...
Baiklah.
Oh, he left. So what do you think about the pipe cleaning days he mentioned? Right, both are a possibility. But Fielding did say that tonight is a cleaning night. Paimon knew you would say that. Alright, sounds like we'll be...
Semoga nggak ketangkep penjaga. Ketangkep ya gebukin gitu. Kita punya power di penjara Meropet ini.
No time to lose.
Memorable banget ya tempat tidurnya gini.
I'm so tired. But we can't sleep yet. They'll be cleaning the pipes tonight, so it's the perfect chance for us to investigate. Whatever. Just be sure to wake Paimon if she dozes off. Huh? Traveler? Sleep already?
Anjrit malah tidur. Oh enggak, kerasukan lagi visionnya Tartaglia. Kalau Tartaglia kan dari SNES. Nah ya, setiap vision tuh desainnya tuh beda-beda setiap region. Berarti visionnya dia tuh itu desainnya SNES ya dong harusnya. Oh dapat penglihatan lagi nih guys. Wow. Jadi kayak alur maju mundur sebenarnya ya. Gak mungkin seorang Tartaglia berdiam diri dan mengikuti aturan penjara. Pasti dia bakal berkelana, gue udah tahu sih. Ketahuan gak nih? Nggak ketahuan coy. Harbinger. Nah loh.
Traveler, come on, wake up!
Hai. Mimpi Cilde lagi.
Oh, it looks like you were just peacefully sleeping to Paimon. Well, what did... Really? So we're finally starting to figure out what actually
Jadi
happened. Okay,
mimpinya
let's
tuh udah
get
kayak
to get moving. Just
pencerahan ya.
careful to
Mereka
avoid
harus
the
ngapain
patrolling
gitu.
guards.
Waduh. Kita ikutin aja. Sehebat-hebatnya kita membangun teori ya dalam sebuah kisah Genshin Impact, ujung-ujungnya kita harus mengikuti alur yang sebenarnya yang emang tercipta sesungguhnya gitu. Ya berteori boleh, tidak ada salahnya. Cuman balik lagi teori yang kita buat tuh bakal tetap kalah dengan apa yang sudah akan diceritakan berdasarkan alur yang telah disesuaikan oleh pihak game pengemasnya gitu. Ini penjaga ya? Harusnya nggak boleh ketahuan dia dong. Tapi gue penasaran kalau ketahuan gimana. Oh, oke. Kalau ketahuan begitu. Tenang, tenang. Ini game bisa diulang.
Careful. We'll get in trouble if the guards catch us.
Kita nunggu dia lihat ke sana dulu nggak sih? Pakai yang kecil. Biar nggak ketahuan. Ya, nggak ketahuan ya. Ada bocil lari. Wih, kunti bogel.
This should be the place.
Kodok-kodok, lumayan materialnya. Boh,
I know you. You were the ones we saw.
sudah kuduga mereka menyembunyikan
Got
sesuatu.
showing up here.
You'd better leave now. Ain't nobody coming here to save you.
What'd you say? Yeah, so what if they were? If you push us, we can make those rumors a reality at any time.
Hey, what's the point of all those rumors anyway? What exactly are you trying to do?
Nah lo,
I don't have to tell you anything. If you turn around, go back to the dormitories and act like you never saw anything, then I'll pretend that you never showed up here.
tidak semudah itu. Kami traveler. Kalian jangan arogan.
Huh? What did you say?
Isn't that exactly what boss...
Hey, do you know our boss?
Nah,
Oh, we had no idea our boss was such a big deal.
kayaknya kita melakukan
He always kept his
kesalahan nih.
identity a
Kita
secret.
membongkar
So,
identitasnya
did he have you come
dia.
here to find us?
Oh, so your child's crew here? Seems like he had no problem fitting in.
Aku
We're the
temannya.
only ones who heard him say those words when he left that night. All right.
Wow, those dreams of yours sure come in handy.
We gave him the business for a while and would always give him a hard time when but here in the fortress, he was working the longest hours and racking up wins
All
in
right,
the
all right.
penetration ring. You could always see how amazing he was. Even so, eventually, we all decided to follow him.
Udah bener lo ngikutin
But
Tartaglia,
one
coy.
day, he suddenly told us that he had to find a way to escape this place. And as his crew, if the boss wants something, then it's our job to get it done. So, we got to work and used the hidden rules that were here. We just wanted to give him a better chance of escaping on a night after the pipes had been cleaned.
Oh, thanks to your rumor, nobody would want to come anywhere near here, but has a child already escaped?
Because as far as we know, the pipe he went into isn't actually an exit. It should be a dead end. It leads to an abandoned factory area, and even if there were a way to escape from there into the sea, we're still way too deep. No one could ever reach the surface alive.
Ini dia
But
nih,
boss
misterinya
still
nih.
insisted on going in. So we told him that we'd pretend as if and that if he wanted to come back, he should wait for
Ini orang malah belak-belakan.
pipe cleaning day.
So you come and wait here through the night a few times a month just because of that promise?
Yeah, but it's been so long now. We already know in our hearts that he must have managed to escape somehow.
Benteng ini tuh masih menyimpan banyak misteri.
Is it also possible
Kemungkinan dia langsung kabur tuh agak mustahil, cuy.
Nothing could ever defeat boss or slow him down. It's one thing we know for
Pabrik
sure.
terbengkalai aja tuh, gua rasa bukan perihal terbengkalainya, pasti ada sesuatu nggak sih?
Alright. Keep quiet and follow us.
Oke. Kita ikutin aja nih, sesepuh penjara nih. Nggak boleh sampai ketahuan penjaga.
No time to lose.
Wah, kodok.
The way up from here has been sealed off. Boss left by going down from here. It wasn't full of water at the time. Later, we came back hoping to have a look. That's when we found out it had been completely flooded. It's impossible to navigate unless you're an extremely skilled diver.
Do you think Child got trapped by the water?
Not likely. We all know that Boss was an incredible swimmer.
Really? Then have him come investigate. Pronto. Just be sure to tell us if you get in.
It's getting late. We should leave.
Yeah, we learned to...
Area baru kah? Hilang di laut dalam.
When you said you knew a diver,
Ini kalau kita
Remine, right?
ngerjain
Lenny, he'll definitely
quest
have Remine help us.
Archon ini kayak lompat-lompat itu nggak langsung dikerjain dalam sehari tuh sebenarnya bakal bingung sih. Kayak gua tuh bingung lanjutan yang kemarin tuh. Soalnya alurnya tuh kayak gimana ya? Kalau nggak merhatiin alurnya kayak kacau gitu.
It's morning already. Paimon still needs more sleep. Huh? Wait, look over there. Isn't that? It's one of Lenny's cards.
Dapat tanda apa nih?
What Paimon see? Maybe you haven't heard, but today is the monthly free day. It's been a while since we last talked. Have you been making any progress lately? Ooh, today's our lucky day. We have the day off. From the sound of it, Lenny's been making progress with his... We still have some time before we meet up.
Let's go. Jadi kita diberi kesempatan guys untuk menyelidiki sesuka kita gitu. Wih, halo Lezu, halo Bang, maaf telat. Nggak ada kata telat, makasih udah mampir, asik. Santai aja bro. Bagaimana kabarnya nih? Waduh. Kalau nggak salah lu follow IG gue kan? Gue juga follow IG lu nih. Sorry banget gue nggak bisa aktif di YouTube lama nih. Jadi ya lagi UTS soalnya. Stres main game Legend Seluler mending nonton ini. Ya semoga bisa terhibur lah dengan konten live streaming gua ya, Lezu ya udah mampir. Thank you, thank you. Nih, gue masih ngelanjutin Archon Quest nih, belum selesai.
Yeah, you. Say, do you like playing card games? You know, like Genius Invocation TCG?
You TCG players are like mint in the wild.
Hey, come on now. What's wrong with finding fellow Invocation aficionados? All right. No pressure.
But why would you be looking for people to play Genius Invocation in a place like...
Whether you're throwing down cards or throwing
Mau
punches,
kartu atau
it's
pakai
all a
bogem. Buset,
competition,
orang-orang penjara Meropet ini barbar semua ya.
There are lots of card
Apa-apa
players
bahasannya
in
bogem
Fortress.
anjir.
When I saw you, I immediately thought, hey, even outsiders from up, sure.
Great! Since you've been here longer than us, you need to flex your seniority a little bit,
Oh,
right?
kita lagi ngobrol sama sepuh.
I thought you would have already heard everything by now. All right then. Did you have
Sepuh-sepuh
anything
gini
specific in mind?
demen
Or
banget
do you
tinggal
want me
di
to just
penjara.
Pick a topic.
Why don't you pick? We'll let you know if we've heard it already.
All right. Have you heard any strange rumors since you've arrived? Then, did you know that there are some people who are always gossiping over in the corner?
Nggak
There
tahu
are two
tuh.
guys who are always skulking around in the corners
Udah
and
tuker kode
corridors
redeem
gossiping.
belum? Oh iya, ada live streaming ini ya, yang Genshin buat patch ke depannya ya. Belum sih, belum
People
redeem.
call them the bombshell.
Sampai besok kan 12 AM kalau nggak
Never
salah.
really found their gossip very mind-blowing.
Thank you udah
It's pretty
ngingetin.
much just the same
Belum
stuff
sempat
that I
redeem
hear
sih,
about
gue nunggu
when I'm
semua
working.
keluar biar langsung bisa redeem. Biasanya kan 3 ya, 3 kode kan.
They tend to talk a lot of nonsense, but they aren't exactly bad.
Good to know. Do you have anything
Tadinya
else
gue
to
tuh
tell us?
pengen fokus ngeliatin live streamingnya aja dulu, cuman kayak ya ampun kalau gue ngeliatin live streamingnya yang dari Genshin Impact officialnya, kapan gue bakal live streaming sendiri di channel gue, makanya kayak aduh, gue harus milih salah satu kan. Jadinya ya gue mending ngerjain Archon Quest dulu lah. Soalnya malu-maluin kayak nanti patch kedepannya bakal muncul nih, tapi gue masih ketinggalan di Archon Quest ini, ya ampun.
Go from an ordinary inmate to becoming the manager of the whole place? A forbidden zone?
Jadi ada yang harus gue
Sounds like
korbanin lah.
something that someone just
Nanti
made
kan
up.
kalau yang live streaming di
It's just a rumor we've been
Genshin
hearing,
Impact
but
bisa gue
no
lihat,
worries if you've
karena kan
never
pasti
heard
ada
of it.
tayangannya.
Do you have anything else you can tell us?
Anything else? Not that I can think of, but I'll be sure to tell you anything interesting I hear next time.
Oke, kita udah berhasil menyelidiki Baviliers. Sekarang kita ke yang lain. Kan kita misinya lagi menyelidiki ini ya, Cilde hilang kemana ya. Tapi gue main ini game pakai karakter Tartaglia gitu loh. Secara tidak sadar ini udah ketemu ini.
There's a group of people over there.
So I said, that's not a faucet.
Oh, sorry for eavesdropping. Sounds like you were talking about something private.
What's the matter? They're just looking to join in on our fun, that's all.
Hey, don't pretend like it's okay for them to just interrupt us like that. Fine. Your expressions tell me you're looking to hear some juicy info, am I right?
Dia bisa baca orang yang lagi butuh gosip anjir. Ngeri banget si Quistot
Then I know
ini.
you two.
Really? Are we
You kidding? How often does anyone get a personal tour led by His Grace himself? Practically every...
A little mistake, huh? I like the way you put it. You see, people with a good attitude can join our group anytime, unlike some of the others here.
your group?
I'm Quisto, and this is Lavaroon.
Oh, dibaca
People
Quisto,
usually
ya
call us the
ampun.
bombshell
Gua
bros,
orang
but don't
Indo
worry,
bilang dia
we're not
Quisto,
playing with
Quistot
bombs
anjir.
It's just that our information is always so explosive, and we blow minds on the regular.
So, you two really like to gossip? Whew, you sure know how to embellish.
No, you don't get it. Knowing intelligence will make things better for you here. For example, knowing who's working with whom, who
Gila.
has the latest rumors, who's not getting along. Wouldn't you like to
Astaga naga penasaran banget mau.
know? Whoa, all this info's worth something, you know?
Wah, tetap ada aja
should
sesuatu
prove
yang
it
harus
with
kita
the others.
kasih sebelum dapat
I don't mind
informasi.
him. Quisto's always this way. The welfare meals. Talk about the welfare meals.
Right. That meal we had yesterday.
Is that so? To tell you the truth, I've been helping.
Oh, so you're the one who made the...
You are correct. I am a true professional. In fact, I even went to culinary school. But
Dulunya
enough about that.
Dulunya dia
Don't you like my cooking?
anak
I
tata
guess
boga
that
si
means we
Quisto
share
ini.
similar tastes. Listen carefully. This little bombshell will help you learn what's really going on here in the fortress. Listen, kids. The power structure within the fortress is quite complicated. The overworlders couldn't care less about us down here.
Waduh,
We're basically
curhat
dogs to
dia.
them. You've already met the one person here you should never cross, the Duke, Risley. He knows more
Ini
than
video
you think.
Tesla ini gue
And if
ngepull
he
belum
doesn't
dapat
care
nih.
about something, then
Gue
he
nge-save
often
buat
doesn't
Furina
do
sih.
anything with it.
Gue baru tertipul doang ngepull Rio,
Those
cuman
who
belum
have
dapat.
the Duke's attention get all
Tapi
kinds
gue
of special
ngepull
perks.
tenpul
Even
iseng di
better
banner
treatment
Venti
in
malah dapat.
Yeah, I know who you mean. It's that Jurier character, right? I don't think there's anything useful about him at all. What?
But did you know that Churia was a talented researcher from the Fontaine Research Institute before he came here?
I don't care if he was a researcher that could turn dirt into Mora. Once you're in the fortress of Meripede, you're just another inmate like everybody else.
Bener-bener.
Speaking of which, the last
Iya,
time
gua
I
dapet
saw him,
Fendi,
he was
bro.
passing by in the corridor with
Sumpah.
Lorraine. I
Gue
also
gue tuh
heard
tadinya
yourself
iseng
talking
kayak
about
sebelum
Library
gue
and
butuh
got no
Furina.
fuck, right? Guess
pada-
that's just how terrible
Duh.
of a guy he is.
Itu gue ngebadut sih sebenarnya bro, asli.
Wow, I never imagined he was that bad.
But that Lorraine
Kayak
is
mau
also
bete
quite
cuman
bad,
dapat
you know?
Archon gitu.
She's always
Gue kan belum punya
carrying
Venti.
away,
Tadinya
got into a
iseng
fight
mau
with a
tenpul
man.
Rio,
She also
tenpul
got sent to
Venti.
the infirmary.
Pas tenpul Rio nggak dapet Rio, pas tenpul Venti, lah malah muncul Venti. Ya udahlah, gua ranti gue hilang. Aduh, nyesek banget.
Wait a second.
Ini gue nggak tahu nih nanti Furina gue bisa dapat apa kagak nih. Gua ranti gue udah hilang.
Be that
After all, I do remember seeing Lorvine beat Juria.
Tapi positifnya adalah gue kan event selalu gue jalanin ya walaupun off streaming ya, karena kan ngejar event juga gue gercep gitu, nggak bisa lama-lama, jadinya nggak enak juga kalau misalkan gue sambil streaming ya. Dapatlah sekitar 77 pull nih, bisa 3 hari lagi gue nunggu Furina keluar. Ya kalau nggak dapet ya udahlah, mungkin belum rezeki gue. Semoga sih bisa dapat Furina atau Vocalor.
Look, there are some people talking over there. What?
Kalau dibilang nyesel atau enggak sih ya ada nyeselnya, cuman gue juga nggak bisa berpikir nyesel banget ya, karena kan gue udah mikir dari awal mau iseng pull siapa tahu dapat. Tenpul Venti, tenpul Rio, di tenpul Venti malah dapet, ya mau gimana lagi.
Hey, speak for yourself, mate. I'm no dog.
Oh, you think you're special or something?
Segitu udah tergolong banyak ya, menurut gue masih kayak rada kurang gitu. Sering main bang, kalau Genshin tuh sebisa mungkin gue login tiap hari, cuman login tiap harinya itu cuman buat kalau lagi ada event sama yang ngejalanin misi harian. Selebihnya kayak eksplorasi sama ngerjain quest ya nggak kepegang. Kayak paling main cuman setengah jam lah. Soalnya kan selebihnya buat aktivitas gue yang lain. Makanya kalau gue bisa live streaming berarti gue lagi mengerjakan sesuatu yang biasanya gak gue kerjakan di Genshin Impact, gitu aja sih gampangnya.
I've heard that you can still stay here and work even after you've served your sentence. Now, who wants to live in the ruddy overworld anyway?
Dia bilang tahanan yang serem, gue kagak ngelihat serem-serem ya sumpah.
Whoa. Sounds like they're really unhappy about the overworld. Speaking of which, Paimon never heard anyone use the words overworld or underworld when we were living up there. Is it only something the inmates down here say?
Nah ini namanya menimbulkan budaya baru dari orang bawah yang di Meripede ini. Kayak bahasa mereka sendiri.
That's true.
Bahasa gaul yang hanya diketahui oleh sebagian orang yang menghidupi bahasa baru itu. Istilah-istilah baru. yang hanya diketahui segelintir orang yang terjebak dalam zona tertentu.
No time to lose. No time to lose.
Punya hutau nggak bang? Waduh, nggak ngepul gua. Waktu hutau waktu itu riran ya. Oktober harusnya riran kan ya. Seingat gua, cuman gua nggak. Harusnya dia riran ya.
Where I'm from, if we didn't keep moving, we'd
Hutau
freeze
udah
to
riran
death.
belum sih?
Literally.
Pernah satu paket sama hutau kah? Wah kurang tahu. Tapi biasanya mendekati Halloween gini hutau keluar. Mungkin bisa aja dia sepaket sama hutau Furina. Makanya ada dilema kan, kayak tekniknya ini loh, teknik marketingnya MiHoYo. Kita dibuat mikir buat ngepul mana nanti. No, riran bulan lalu. Iya. Gua nggak dapat kalau nggak salah hutau. Dia rerun sama apa ya waktu itu ya? Sama Zhongli bukan sih? Gue tuh sampai kayak lupa gitu ngeliat banner.
Who's next?
Sama gue juga nggak dapet. Sabar ya. Gue bisa aja ngedapetin dia, cuman kan kayak emang fokus gue mau ke Furina ya. Walau gimana pun tuh Archon tuh punya kesan tersendiri lah buat player kayak gue. Jadi gue ngumpulin Archon sebisa mungkin. Kaget dia, kaget.
Look in your eyes. You found something?
Ini sebenarnya Lin ini peramal atau tukang main sulap sih?
Hey, this is no time to be modest. Just tell him we found a boatload of...
Oh, as expected of the legendary duo, you... Huh. I'd have never guessed that myself. The rumors swirling about this place are unreliable. He is a harbinger after all. Unfortunately,
Ya walaupun dia harbinger ke-11, cuman Cilde itu juga tidak bisa diremehkan cuy. Cilde itu pemberani dia. Sama siapa ya lupa? Gue juga lupa pas itu. Tapi kalau nggak salah Zhongli juga udah riran kan ya?
Well, when you put it that way, it's obvious that only Fremine would be up to the task.
Bingo! Is he around?
He's working today. Coming here as a group would have attracted too much attention. I'll talk to him about it later.
Ada tuh event yang bagus banget menurut gua. Belum lama ini gua kelarin. Good luck bang, all in Furina, semoga dapat konstelasinya. Amin. Ya minimal C6 lah ya. Waduh. Tenpu langsung dapat 7 Furina gitu kan.
Now let me think. To find out more information, Fremine will have to retrace Master Child's original route. And if he's to do that, he'll have to set out on the next pipe cleaning day at the earliest. That's 6 days from now. And after that, he'll probably take another 2 or 3 days to return.
Halo streamer ganteng dan membahana demen.
We've been working together for a
Halo
long
Rif.
time.
Hai
We know
hai.
each other's capabilities like the backs of our hands. Traveler, what say you to meeting
Makasih
here
udah
9
bergabung
days from
Rif.
now?
Sangat
We'll be able to
terhormat
pick up Fremine while
Anda
we're
menonton
too.
streaming saya, sempat mampir.
Oh,
Terima
and there's
kasih.
though we can just sit back and wait for Fremine's report on Master Child's
Ini
whereabouts,
orang
we
mau
still need to make
masuk
more progress on
World
the
gua lagi
investigation of the
quest.
Forbidden Zone. Fremine's no master of disguise. Lynette's still working on getting intel from the other areas, and I'll need to spend some time helping Fremine prepare for his diving mission.
What do you want us to do? Will it be hard?
Well, I won't call it easy per se, but I think you'll be able to pull it off. Listen carefully. You'll need to find an excuse to get into the infirmary and investigate the room and environs. You've mentioned several sketchy-looking people always meeting at the infirmary earlier.
Ini gue
So
penasaran
probably has
nih.
something to do with the secret we're hoping to uncover. You've already met the head nurse, so she'll be less suspicious. Investigate the internal structure of the infirmary and any active dealings
Terus ke
within.
klinik.
And
Berarti
pitch those
ketemu
to me
Melusin
alongside
lagi dong.
anything else you're able to
Kalau sekarang ada
discover.
penjaga Melusin yang jaga
Also,
Meropeide
there's
kan,
no need to take risks.
yang
Don't
deket
forget,
sama
safety
si
always
Duke
comes first.
Furio Tesli.
No, when it comes to intelligence gathering, I'd never consider you to be. I'll believe anything as long as it comes from you.
Gue juga belum
So, please
ngikutin
prove your
story
promise
quest
to me once
Melusin
again.
lagi kan. Buset, ketinggalan banyak banget gue.
Head out as soon as we finish our prep.
Let's go our separate
Aku
ways
nggak
for
main
now.
Genshin nyimak. Ya nggak apa-apa, Rif, nyimak
We'll be
aja.
here again in
Gue
9
juga
days.
baru bisa main Genshin
Stay
lagi,
safe.
ngejalanin Archon nih baru hari ini. Gue lagi UTS soalnya di kuliah. Sumpah puyeng banget cuy. Anjrit. Kacin, seru
Hey,
nih.
stay here for now. Paimon will take a peek.
Pasti ketahuan. Paimon kalau ngintip tuh gampang
There
ketahuan
seem to
pasti.
be several people inside.
Bukan nguping itu, Paimon. Oh, nggak ketahuan. Gue kira ketahuan. Paimon suka melakukan hal konyol soalnya.
Right. I feel like
Waduh.
It's not impossible.
Oh, ini Melusin ini.
It's a bit hard to understand them from here.
Bersuara loh. Main karakternya bersuara weh. Sekali bersuara gitu banget ngisi voice overnya. Wow, tolong. Aku lelah bekerja gitu. Oh tidak, kami sedang tidak baik-baik saja.
Wrong, little one. There's no need to panic. Take a deep breath before you begin.
Wih, Kunti Bogel.
Traveler started complaining of a stomach ache and then nausea and then collapsed onto the ground.
Aku jarang Genshin, lebih suka Honkai Star Rail. Ya Honkai lagi
Freezing limbs, twitching
naik
fingers, and
banget
pale
tuh, lagi hype.
complexion. Could it be poison?
Voice aktor nganggur.
Let me take a look. Please lie down over here.
Voice aktornya berasa kayak Nezuko anjir si Ether ini. Cuman gitu doang. Ngomongnya dikit banget.
Don't worry, I'll get you to the bed safely. Here, hold on to my shoulder and walk
Tapi-
slowly.
Waduh. Gue ditolong Kunti Bogel.
You can do it, traveler.
Dia bakal playable karakter kagak ya? Gue penasaran deh. Dia Melusin tapi wujudnya kayak bukan Melusin sebenarnya.
Don't apologize. You're sick after all. Now, please relax. I'm just going to do a preliminary checkup on you.
Gue dari dulu tuh bilang mau nyoba Honkai Star Rail, cuman belum sempet mulu nyobanya. Perihal ini sih keterbatasan waktu juga sih.
I see now. My checkup has confirmed that he's not in any mortal danger. Eh? Oh, that's good. But I'll continue my diagnosis of the patient now.
Panik dia panik.
Don't sense serious damage to your organs either. Does it hurt when I press here? And here?
Bang Mik nggak event lagi kah? Event apa nih buat event anime?
Based on my initial checkup, there shouldn't be a problem here.
Dulu sih, dulu masih suka ya kayak ke event-event gitu. Cuman sekarang perihal ini sih males crowdednya itu loh.
What about here? Does this hurt?
Terus kalau lagi ada event cosplay gitu tuh, gue malesnya kadang kalau lagi ada di mall-mall tertentu tuh tempat-tempatnya kurang memadai gitu. Jadi ya balik lagi kayak yang gue bilang tadi, crowdednya itu bikin gue nggak nyaman gitu. Vibesnya sih seru ya ketemu orang-orang yang mungkin bisa dibilang sefrekuensi gitu.
Oh, I understand. So that's what it is. I think you just ate something that disagreed with you. That's all. Nothing too serious. Outside of a pretty bad stomachache when it decides to act up.
Kalau misalkan kode redeemnya udah pada keluar, kabarin ya guys ya.
And there have been other inmates complaining about the food recently.
G-Fest, Japanese
Now,
Festival.
Chef Mr.
Itu singkatan atau apa tuh, Lezu?
Congratulations. The health risk is incredibly low. So you
Tidak ada risiko penyakit parah, cuma istirahat saja sekitar. Ya emang sebenarnya Ether tuh nggak sakit, kita cuman buat-buat. Cuman si Queen ini terlalu perhatian gitu.
Very well.
Tuh udah aku kirim kodenya. Thank you, thank you. Aku ada kode redeem, mau kode redeem Genshin. Udah dikirim Lezu sih, aman-aman. Nanti gua redeem deh.
Hello. So how are you feeling now?
Lorvin masih tidak enak gitu. Waduh. Kenapa nih?
His stomach aches really bad. He was stumbling up.
If Miss Sijuin says it's not a serious problem, then there's no need to worry.
But it also looks like she...
Well...
What do you mean that's true? That's really misrepresenting the situation. Of course I can't speak for the whole fortress, but it's not like everyone in
ini orang
prison
malah
is
berdebat,
useless,
guys.
you know? Though they may have committed crimes and gotten locked up here as a result, they still know a thing or two about medicine, and they help Miss Sijuin take care of the sick and injured.
Yeah, you're right. But did you have to lecture me about it in front of another patient? Aren't you a patient too? Where did all your energy come from?
Oh, untuk HSR, ya ampun, gue nggak main HSR, Rif, ya ampun. Gue percuma dapat kode redeemnya. Mau redeem gimana?
Also sick?
We've been sick a while. I come back every once in a while for checkups and to pick up the medicines Miss Sijuin prescribes for us. That's just the nature of chronic illnesses. You could say she fancies herself as Miss Sijuin's capable helper because she...
Please watch your mouth, Mr. Jurier. Don't forget that you are the primary reason I have frequent heart palpitations.
Waduh, nih mereka berantem begini, totonya jatuh cinta nih. NPC gini nih, kisahnya malah indah totonya nih. Waduh. ASR support Snap 6 nggak, Bang? Snapdragon 600 series maksudnya.
But...
Release.
Harusnya mah bisa aja sih menjalani asalkan storage-nya aman. Dan setahu gue juga HSR tuh lebih ringan daripada Genshin Impact kan ya.
Please allow me to end this boring and useless conversation. Oh, and Mr. Jurier, I don't want to see your face here again anytime soon.
Yang penting perhatiin aja dulu kapasitas storage-nya. Soalnya kalau kita nggak nyisain storage buat sistem, biasanya tuh HP kita malah jadi lemot. Kayak kita tetap harus nyisain berapa giga untuk sistemnya sendiri gitu. Itu sih berdasarkan pengalaman gue ya. Kayak jangan sampai penuh-penuh banget lah penyimpanan HP.
Well, his name is Jurier, but I hope you'll never have cause to remember his name.
You really can't stand him, huh?
I mean, can you blame me? Someone who's as arrogant and obsessed with weird research topics as he is. I'll accompany you two for a while. No.
I'm back. Did you rest like you promised?
Thank you for getting our medicine, Miss Sijuin.
Sambil nungguin event reunian Genshin lama kali sebulan. Oh alah.
Nobody got up to walk around. Good. Here, this should be 2 days worth of medicine for you. Take 1 pill now, and then continue your bed rest. Miss Levine, I left in a bit of a hurry. Yellow, huh? I understand. These are yours.
All right, then I'll also be on my way now. I hope you feel better soon too.
See ya!
Oh, si Queen tuh Hydro. Tadi kelihatan ada visionnya.
I'm going to fill out your medical record now.
Visionnya Hydro.
Those two made quite the commotion just now, so why don't we let the traveler rest? Paimon can answer the questions instead. So his primary symptoms are abdominal pain with secondary symptoms of nausea. Is there anything else?
Weh,
That's it.
ngebak. Sorry.
Alright then.
Tadi nge-freeze dikit.
Is there anything we should know besides to take the meds? No, his base constitution is quite good, so I'm sure he'll recover quite quickly after taking the medicine. Please make sure to stick to bland or less stimulating foods.
Sequin Hydro kan? Kalau nggak salah tadi gua ngeliat. Untuk Genshin bang, full bansos tuh ku kasih misal main 2 gamenya. Apa gue salah ngeliat? Sequin kayaknya Hydro deh. Ada visionnya tadi gue liat di belakangnya pundaknya dia.
We've been to lots of places together. He may look a bit under the weather now, but he's actually super strong. So you're the best of companions. Ah, you're awake.
Waduh. Kunti bogel, bangun-bangun ada kunti bogel, guys.
For a really long time, but we
Batas jam sampai besok kayaknya. Iya, betul. Tadi gue sempat ngelihat bentar streamingnya tuh kode redeemnya bisa aktivasi sampai besok 12 AM. Berarti sampai jam 12 siang ya. Iya, lewat 12 AM kan 1 PM. Masih bisa besok lah. Bukan jam 12 malam nanti sih harusnya. Jam 12 malam besok siang. Jam 12 malam besok siang. Jam 12 siang besok. Ya ampun. Gue ngomong apa sih? Ini gara-gara gue multitasking nih. Gue lagi merhatiin story sambil ngobrol. Sorry. Gimana konsepnya 12 malam sampai sih? Wah. Kembali ke mes. Lewat mana nih? Mesnya ada di mana anjir? Oh, lewat sini.
No time to lose.
You really are something. To be able to fall asleep like that and even sleep talk the entire time? But you kept mumbling things along the lines of, Pyron, Paimon talked with Sijuin the entire time you were asleep. She seems like she's just a sincere nurse.
Di sini gue iri sama si Aether. Karena Aether nih sosok main karakter di dalam game yang bisa dibilang tuh penggambarannya bahwa dia tuh kritis banget gitu. Dia selalu curiga akan sesuatu. Bang, New Village-ku solo spiral. Gue bisa aja percaya sih karena emang si Nopal tuh ya dibilangnya New Village Nopal ya sama orang Indo. Emang OP sih. Teman-teman gue juga bilang katanya ini hero OP banget gitu. Apalagi kalau nyentuh konstelasi tertentu tuh udah wah anjir. Ditambah dengan talent yang udah mateng, artefak yang didapat bagus. Nopal tuh emang gokil deh. Sesuai dengan title-nya sih. Dia reinkarnasi naga Hydro kan kalau gue nggak salah. Kalau gue nggak salah inget. Wih, ketemu Linet. Wih, ngobrol lah. Masa pepasan doang? Oh, Linet tuh gue nggak tahu mau menggambarkan Linet seperti apa sih. Cuman dia orang ketemu mah nyapa gitu, ini lewat doang anjir. Oh ini nih. Lini. Fun fact-nya orang-orang pada bilang manggil Lini kan. Cuman si Vocalors atau Furina doang yang manggil Lini bukan Leni. Ya.
Did you two run into any trouble over the past few days?
No, we just worked our shifts.
Perhatiin nih kalau Furina manggil Lini, pasti Leni gitu.
That We've taken a look at the slip.
Waktu yang di persidangan.
Fremine successfully left the grounds via the pipes 2 days ago, and as of last night, Lynette has also infiltrated the infirmary after faking an illness.
Wait, why is she getting involved as well?
Nyimak sambil makan Indomie plus telur. Wih, mantap Rif. Selamat makan ya.
To put it more bluntly, infiltrating a guarded stronghold is a different kind of job from a one-off investigation. We want to avoid using the same fate. Lynette also felt like you have already taken the first step for us, so she...
So that's what Lynette thinks. Oh, Paimon hopes everything's going well for her.
Perhaps that's true. You are both very good people, and we've come to appreciate that more than anyone else.
Iya.
Unfortunately,
Lini
there's
berpihak
still one
kepada
thing that could get between us, lest you've forgotten.
ya Harbinger.
You mentioned before that you've had some run-ins with the Fatui. I can understand that feeling. So I assume you're just
Sebenarnya hubungan si MC kita dengan Fatu ini kayak ibarat frenemies gitu tau. Kita bisa berteman kapanpun, tapi kayak objektif kita melihat Fatu itu gak semua tuh udah baik gitu. Complicated sumpah masalah yang ada di Teyvat ini.
Glad to hear it. Then, let's go check on Lynette before Fremine returns.
Udah tahu kit Frina belum? Belum sih, gue belum riset buat kitnya sih. Mungkin Lezut kalau udah tahu bisa info-info gitu sambil kita bahas bareng gitu. Indomie goreng kalau nggak 2 bungkus nggak kenyang aku. Sama sih. Gue semenjak udah SD kelas berapa tuh, kayak gue ngerasa makan Indomie tuh harus 2, karena kalau nggak 2 udah kayak kurang kenyang. Atau enggak sekalian beli Indomie Jumbo. Kalau Indomie Jumbo udah pasti kenyang.
No time to lose.
Lynette should be here right now. Huh.
Waduh, kalau pakai nasi gue nggak pernah tuh pakai nasi. Indomie udah 2 pakai nasi. Sebenarnya itu nggak direkomendasikan sih ya guys ya. Jadi tubuh kita terlalu banyak memproduksi insulin, jadi nggak bagus juga ke tubuh kita. Mungkin kalau sesekali oke lah, cuman jangan dijadiin kebiasaan deh. Saran dari gue. Mending banyakin lauknya kayak proteinnya, kayak kalau telurnya lebih banyak gitu sih oke lah.
Oke. None of the beds have any signs of having been slept in, except that one over there.
That's the one Lynette must have used, right? You said she was pretending to be sick.
Aku duluan ya bang, istriku lagi sakit. Oh Rif udah nikah, oh iya Rif, oke. Jangan masaknya pakai air mateng. Gue masak Indomie tetep pakai air ini ya, mentah ya, cuman kan digodok jadinya mateng. Tapi gue pernah sih waktu itu, apa ya, jadi air listrik atau air pump di rumah gue lagi mati. Terus ada air di meja makan tuh air mateng. Jadi buat bikin Indomie pakai air mateng. Jadi kayak ngangetin air yang udah mateng aja gitu.
Seems quite normal to me. These are skills that would come in handy for a nurse from time to time.
Semoga lekas sembuh istrinya Rif ya. Terima kasih udah mampir Rif.
Wait, this thing? It doesn't look like it. The space behind it is empty. From its size, I don't think it's an entrance that is meant to be. Could Lynette have tried to get inside? But if that's the case, she would have. Let's look around here for some more clues. Don't panic, just take another look.
Jangan panik, kita cari lagi.
Hey, you got a slip of paper over here.
A slip of paper?
Capek haluan mulu. Sabar ya, ada saatnya, ada saatnya.
And there's a bunch written on it too. It reads, out of respect for your usual practices, I'll use a piece of paper or card as the medium to pass on my message. You may consider this as me giving you my best regards.
This is...
Is that all?
Ini apa nih? Si Lini belum selesai ngomong. Ya, ini apa
Show
nih?
me, now!
That look on your face. Paimon's reading it now. Would you care to guess where Miss Lynette of the Fatui could be right now? No. Could she have... Is she already...
Wriothesley. Did he deliberately leave the infirmary unguarded to use it as bait?
Wow.
Wait, you mean he was aware of our
So,
goals
ini
from the
kejadiannya
very
udah mulai intens nih.
Why? We didn't run into any trouble last time, and he also never
Yes, that is a crucial question. Wriothesley, he doesn't do anything without a clear goal or reason. So this means he had no concerns about your activities from the very beginning. You're not from the same camp as us. You were sent down here by Nervulet, so you have no conflict of interest with Wriothesley. We're a completely different story, though. I'd like to know that, too. Why did he only go after her? Don't panic, just think everything over. Wait, you're right. The fact that Fremine was able to leave the grounds... Could Wriothesley have let him go as well?
But what does he gain by letting Fremine leave like that?
Si Aether katanya dewa, emang iya? Wah, gua nggak tahu deh Lezu. Aduh.
So he's challenging me and trying to provoke me, I'm sure of it.
Aing nggak fokus ke lore-nya. Gua ngikutin lore, cuman belakangan ini lagi nggak terlalu ngikutin. Gua ada saran bagus sih kalau misalkan mau ngikutin lore Genshin tuh dari channel World of Teyvat di YouTube tuh bagus banget itu. Dia ngebahasnya secara terperinci dan detail.
Lenny's getting more and more panicked. We have to calm him down. Don't be like this, Lenny. Fremine wouldn't have left if we hadn't told you about Child.
Ini mulai seru nih. Kayak mulai puncak masalah kayak nih.
I'm the leader of this operation and I'm the one responsible for this team. I was the one who failed to protect them.
Kebayang sih jadi Lini sih, berat pasti pikirannya.
Hey, don't be reckless. Traveler, please talk some sense into him.
I simply cannot allow Lynette to be abducted again. I have
Iyalah.
to go. I'll find a way to get them back.
Jangan nangis Lini, weh. Santai, santai.
He's rushed out the door. After him.
Lini kalau gegabah gini malah kacau. Waduh, si Queen nguping ternyata ya. Senyumnya itu loh.
Right. I feel like we still have some room to make changes on these details.
Dia memikirkan sesuatu.
It's not impossible, but it'll require extensive testing.
Is that so? Very well. Then please be mindful of the time.
Inilah kelebihannya Melusin ya.
Is someone?
Pack everything up. Whoever's outside is eavesdropping. They'll probably come in once we stop talking.
Gila.
Someone! Please help! He's sick!
Whoa, are you okay?
These two. As expected, they've already found this place. Oh, they are quite sharp. What a delightful turn of events.
Di balik Aether dan Paimon yang cerdas, ada yang lebih cerdas ya.
I like playing dumb. I like the feeling of being trusted. Oh my! What's wrong, little one? There's no need to panic. Take a deep breath before you begin.
Wah.
Being able to read human expressions is quite the useful skill.
Iya, ternyata kita kira kita MC, ternyata kita adalah NPC.
It's no use, we have to catch up to him.
Kejar, 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 kejar. Ini jangan gegabah.
He's already out of sight. How is he so fast? Let's go head him off at Risley's office.
Tiba-tiba dia udah di situ, buset. Dia pakai trik sulap ke sananya ya. Waduh.
Come out and face me, Risley!
Aren't we at an administrative office space? Why don't you at least try to follow even a couple rules from the fortress's indoor management regulations?
What did you do to my sister?
I ran into the young miss at the infirmary. I'd heard that she was suffering from quite the migraine, so I decided to invite her over for a cup of tea. I do have some teas in my collection that can work wonders against such an illness.
Stop joking around! Where did you take my siblings?
I have also heard that your performances are quite the spectacle. Miss Lynette would sometimes enter a box filled with water, only to emerge the next second from another place altogether. Maybe she'll appear behind you right now if you were to turn your head.
Waduh.
Is he trying to trick me into turning my head? No, he's probably not looking to attack me right now. All of the hostages are in his hands, and he's even in the mood for small talk. You knew we were investigating the infirmary from the start, so you deliberately aroused the traveler's suspicions and baited us into continuing our investigation, just so that you'd be able to kidnap Lynette. As for Fremine, no, you probably didn't even interfere with Child's escape. You let him go.
There was no need to do so. The fortress of Meripede is a pretty pleasant place. Most people enjoy their lives here.
You removed our original members and spread the news of Child's escape so Father would assign our team to come down and investigate. Fremine has also fallen into your hands, right? If you're oh so omnipotent and so in control, why would you need hostages?
One correction. Lynette is in my hands right now, but Fremine is not.
He's not. What do you really want?
Waduh. Tiba-tiba masuk gitu kan.
Everyone is
Lini.
here, so I'll only need to say this once. Thank you so much for cooperating with me. Eager and to the point, I see. Alas, only Miss Lynette is currently having a cup of the fortress's finest. Although, as per your original plan, Mr. Fremine should also have returned to the fortress by now. But he has neither shown up within my gates.
Wait, you can't mean you locked him outside in the sea?
I closed the fortress's gate to the outside world. That's all.
Fremine's a star diver, so he should be fine, right?
No, we're still here, so he definitely tried to find a way to come back for us.
But why would I do this, you may be asking? To have an audience with you, of course. My intel tells me that Mr. Linney is a great magician, so it's only natural for me to want to have some cards of my own when it comes to negotiating. Besides, I do recall you mentioning to Miss Lynette that you've always wanted to have a face-to-face meeting with the Lord of the Fortress of Meripede.
So, you've been keeping tabs on us before we even set foot in the fortress.
Some of my folks just happened to hear a thing or two, that's all. In any case, I will be straight with you. I was willing to play dumb and turn a blind eye, so we had a pleasant few days playing games together here. But once you started focusing on the Forbidden Zone, Mr. Linney, the cards are stacked against you right now. Miss Lynette is in my hands, and Mr. Fremine is still slowly being pickled out there in the brine. You need do but one thing to guarantee their safety. I would like you to contact your superior, and ideally invite her over for a cup of tea with me.
You want to see Father? But why should she bother giving you an audience?
Well, if she cares for the well-being of her dearest children, she should have plenty of motivation to join me for a parents' evening. I've heard that the bonds between the members of the House of the Hearth are like the bonds of family. I don't see why she would refuse.
Why did you think Father sent us to handle the Fortress of Meripede? This place is basically a no-man's land. It wouldn't be fitting for anyone as important as a harbinger like Father to come here in person.
Oh, I see. So it's because she doesn't care for my place here.
Bonjour,
Such a
New
shame.
Villette. Keren
After
ya
all, the
julukannya ya,
mess is quite the tea
New Villette.
collection. I was looking.
Was this the extent of your master plan to get to Father? No matter how much pressure you may put on me, I won't allow you to use us to blackmail her.
You people really are difficult to get along with. All I'm asking for is a face-to-face conversation. Does she truly have no interest in the fortress's secret? Mr. Linney, you have one last chance to invite your father here.
Vision S-nya
If
itu
you
loh.
refuse,
Vision cryonya. Keren cuy.
instead of asking why I'm doing this, why don't you try to see things from my perspective for a second? From the very beginning, the Fatui has been actively infiltrating my fortress.
Seru nih.
I gave you a warning by cutting off the first few operatives I found, but that only caused you to double down. Had you given up on the fortress then and there, I'd have no reason to want to talk. Mr. Fremine left the fortress on his own, and Miss Lynette tried to pry out my secrets.
Abis ini gue mau nyoba Tenpul Rio lah.
No matter how
Gue
you
ngeliat
look,
nih karakter keren
the
banget.
responsibility
Kayak
for this
pengen punya
falls
gitu
on
ngepul dia.
you.
Kang pukul, Kang
I
pukul.
shouldn't ask Father to do anything because of us.
6, 5,
Wait,
2, 1. Time's up. It really is a shame, Mr. Linney.
Risley!
Negotiations have broken down. Please leave, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for my afternoon tea.
Kenapa jangan tuh? Apakah ada pendapat lain? Tetap safe buat Furina kah? Tapi dia King Cryo sih kan gue. Iya itu dia.
Listen to the traveler. If you can't talk to
Gue kalau punya mantep juga kayak nge-build dia gitu. Tapi ya nyari materialnya juga setengah mampus, dia kan hero baru ya. Karakter baru.
You're here helping him out. But that doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want. The
Harus
fortress
rada
may
niat
be
sih grindingnya.
small and remote, but it still has its own set. Then how about this? Those who are capable deserve respect. You've spent quite some time investigating my home turf by now, so why don't you
Ivan.
tell me a thing or two about
Halo
it?
bang, weh, halo Ivan.
I'll ask you 3 questions.
UTS.
Answer all of them
UTS.
correctly,
Malah
and I'll
nonton
agree to
streaming.
your request. Question 1.
Halo Ivan, thank you udah
Regarding the
mampir.
hidden rules of the production zone.
Waduh. Aduh, gue harus mikir lagi kan. Udah mana gue nge-skip ini story lama banget. Gue lupa nih, ntar.
Fonta's internal reports suggest that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed and unpackaged product. But the product has to undergo a trial because even Fonta's own employees have a lot of reservations about it. We often see Miss Sijuin observing the prisoners at work near the production zone. The Fonta promoter has been struggling because I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour. The research notes said that the Melusine race perceives the world very differently from human.
Salah nih. Hipotesis benar anjir.
So that's what's going on.
Gue gila.
Understands it now.
Otakku bagus juga menelaah itu loh.
The hidden rule of the production zone. People are not supposed to work 3 days in a row, and if they do, they'll get strange.
Kayak gue ngeliatnya tuh nggak ada kaitannya dengan fonta-fonta gitu, makanya gue ngambil yang fakta-fakta tentang Melusine yang gue ketahuin kan.
With the people who disappeared, but in reality, they were all prepared by Sijuin, the head nurse. She often visits the production.
Sumpah Paimon kalau udah pakai kacamata detektifnya dia udah kayak, aduh, apaan tahu dah. Si paling peneliti dah.
Out of her sense of duty as the head nurse, as well as her genuine concern for the workers' health, Sijuin visits the cafeteria right before lunch and cooks. Sijuin has only the best intentions with her surprise gift and doesn't want anyone to find out about what she does. Unfortunately, Melusines as a race perceive the world differently from humans, and they're the recipients of her lovingly prepared special meal. Are we on the...
Not bad. You've uncovered Sijuin's secret and even guessed her intentions correctly as well. All right, now for my next... There are also some hidden rules in the Pancration Ring, including the one that you're not allowed to support both sides.
Mampus, ini gua nggak tahu.
Why is that?
Nggak inget gua. Aduh. Gua lupa cuy. Ini yang tentang kayak kita diteror itu nggak sih? Aduh, ini di streaming gue yang sebelumnya nih.
Fonta's internal reports suggest that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed and unpackaged product. I've been told that the infirmary is all... We often see Miss Siege... The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupons. The research notes said that the melazine... According to Collins, the pancreation...
Kita ambil ini dulu,
The
satu.
Fonta promoter has been
Yang berkaitan dengan Fonta aja dulu deh. Ada dua hipotesis kita yang keliru.
Fonta's internal report suggests that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed... The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the research notes said that... I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half-hour. The Fonta promoter has been...
Okay.
Paimon gets this rule too now, so there really was nothing to be afraid of. That hidden rule of the Pancration Ring is about how, people are not supposed to bet. People get scared when they see it because they've subconsciously begun to associate it with the missing boxer.
Aduh.
But really, it's just a bottle of the latest yet to be named a blood red drink. It's no wonder even Fonta's... The company, facing backlash from its own staff, decided to try to trial the
Tapi regulasi minuman Fontanya ini kayak masih nggak jelas gitu. Curiga gua.
to the fortress of Meropide.
Pamit dulu bang, baterai habis. Oke, thank you Lai sudah menemani gua beberapa menit ini yang sangat berharga buat gua tentunya. Thank you. Semoga sehat-sehat selalu ya.
Knew that only total idiots who didn't understand their true value would bother buying a Fonta product here. And so, only those who proved their stupidity by being dumb enough to bet on two opposing sides of the same match.
I acknowledge the effort you've put in, although based on your description, that Fonta promoter is a bit too careless with his words. I may just reconsider my collaboration with the company.
All right, and here's the final question. What's the secret behind our head nurse and
Nah, ini yang
all of
tadi
her
nih.
patients
Gue
in
kurang
the
nyimak
infirmary?
lagi.
Stop your cruel and pointless games, Risley.
Waduh.
You know that we haven't finished our
Ini
investigation.
kalau udah panik
so there's
adeknya
no way we
hilang,
can answer
panik
the
banget.
last question. The thought of sparing Lynette and Fremine never even crossed your mind.
Wah, ini kalau digeplak pingsan dia loh, Cok.
Pay for this.
Kenapa tuh?
Are you alright?
Dia apaan? Dibius, bro? Ini kena tembakan dia.
Oh, close one. I owe you, Sijuin. That was a fantastic...
It was nothing, Your Grace. Sijuin? This gun may look like a toy. It's actually fully functional, as I just demonstrated.
Obat bius kah?
Not at all. I am merely a resident of the fortress, and thus when Monsieur Nervulet asked me to come here, he told me that my job would be to take care of the well-being of every... But if you mean what you just said, then isn't Linny someone you should be looking after as well? Isn't he a resident here just like the rest of us? But I really am just doing what Monsieur Nervulet told me to do. Everything I did, I've done to... His Grace knows it too, right? Your Grace?
My dear Sijuin,
Si Queen terlalu polos.
would it have killed you to just wait
Bundi
another minute or
bogel.
two?
Well, it's nearly time after all.
Waduh.
The way you do things can be truly frustrating sometimes, Your Grace. I figured I should try to talk some sense into you. What are you talking about? What time?
Take me if you want.
How touching. Can you just give me one more minute?
Don't be like that, Your Grace.
All right, everyone, calm down. 2 more visitors will be arriving any time now.
Waduh.
I'll go
Siapa
get a cup
tuh?
of tea. Miss Sijween, I leave Miss Lynette in your care.
You. What are you?
I believe I hear footsteps.
Feeling gue gak enak.
Some space, please.
Kelarin.
Ah, Miss Clarend.
My door. My door. Didobrak ya pintunya ya.
Fremine. Fremine.
Fremine.
What's going on? What is Kelarin doing here?
Work.
Wah,
I'm sorry about
dingin
shooting
banget
you,
tuh.
Mr. Lenny.
Cuek banget tuh.
Tranquilizing effect will
Waduh.
begin to wear off soon. Please take it easy in the meantime, though.
What happened to Fremine? Wasn't he diving just outside of the fortress? Why is he looking like...
A flushed face, an accelerated pulse. He must have consumed primordial seawater.
What did you say?
Please, make some space. I'll need to give Mr. Fremine more...
I'll talk to Clarend while you get Fremine to where he needs to be. Everything else can wait.
How is he?
These symptoms are probably caused by an acute ingestion of a large amount of primordial... Of course, it would be best if he stayed for
Lautan
further
primordial kan
observation.
kayak
Let's leave him here for now.
di Fontaine
and
tuh
move
harusnya
him to the
sakral ya.
infirmary once he's recovered a bit more. Sorry. I am aware that the infirmary...
Why would he ingest a large amount of primordial seawater after...
Please, look after Mr. Fremine for the moment. I'll go fetch some medicine and a respirator. Oh, I'll bring Miss Lynette...
Where is she? How is she right now?
Oh, she just took a nap in an empty room after I tranquilized her. If my calculations are correct, she should also be waking up right around now.
No time to lose. What's that look on your face? I thought I made good time on the way back.
Oh, I'm just admiring your punctuality. Had you arrived just a few minutes later, Sijween may have been forced to shoot Mr. Lenny again. How's the situation out there?
The water has changed. It's pretty much as expected. The concentration of primordial seawater has increased significantly. I was only out there a short time, so it wasn't too bad. But if one were to stay for any significant amount of time...
Where was he when you found him?
The abandoned zone at the end of the pipes.
Closer than I thought. He must have recognized it early on and tried desperately to swim back.
Locking the door was necessary. I don't think we could have saved 2.
Well, I did try to convince him that I had my reasons. Never seems to work, though.
It would probably work on Neuvillette. He has a knack for picking out who had good intentions, even when the outcomes were all terrible.
It's a bad sign if you're having to plead your case to Neuvillette. Want some tea?
Not
Dah,
particularly.
si
If you
Brio
want to
Tese
drink
ini
some
suka
of that,
ngeteh
then
kayaknya.
just say so.
Nawarin teh
Fine,
mulu.
I'd like to get some tea. Want me to get you a cup too, since I've already made it?
Might as well then, I suppose. Actually, do you have a towel? I would...
Linny, are you okay?
I'll be fine. They're all here now. Don't worry about me.
Are you sure? You don't look alright.
My hands and feet are still a bit weak, but...
I'm back, everyone.
Lenny! Oh, Traveler. Fremine? Is he...
He'll be fine. But for now, please help me lift him up.
Masih hidup. Bangun-bangun. Weh, kunti bogel. Tidur lagi kah?
His breathing's beginning to slow down.
Give me a hand and help me get him to the...
Yeah, I'll take him from this side. Lynette, together?
On it. Traveler, you seem pretty worried about him. Want to come with us? The Duke and Kelarin are gone. They probably went to get some tea. The Duke will explain the truth in just a bit.
Itu yang ada di pikiran si Ether ya. Oh, ini tuh kantor.
I see everything.
Could I tempt you with...
No need.
Ini beneran nih mereka.
Could I tempt you...
No need.
Lu pada beneran ngeteh atau bahas apaan gitu? Wih, jadi anjay. Keren juga desain kantornya. Lu pada jangan aneh-aneh lu. Ya kita langsung ke objektif aja. Balik ke klinik bersama Freminet. Let's go. Bener kagak sih lewat sini?
No time to lose.
Bener. Halo Freminet.
He's awake. Fremine, how do you feel?
I don't feel so good.
Lynette.
We're all here. The infirmary at the fortress of... How do you feel?
Traveler. Paimon. It's been so long. The sea. There's something wrong with the seawater.
Ada yang salah dengan air laut.
It's okay. We can talk.
No, listen to me. This is really serious. There's primordial seawater mixed into the regular seawater. I don't know why it's there, but no one should touch it. Pipes. Right, the pipes. It's all coming back to me now.
Waduh. Jadi masalah serius nggak sih, kan nggak bolehnya tuh kan laut primordial sama laut yang biasa.
I'm in. Seems like this pipe hasn't been used in a long time. Where could Master Child be?
Keren juga Feminet.
This mechanism looks like it's been tampered with. Could he have done it?
Emang dah Fountain penuh dengan segala mekanisme ya, jadi harus membiasakan diri.
It's getting stuck on something. Seems like I'll have to avoid those obstacles while I turn it.
Mati. Nah, padahal kalau gue punya Wanderer atau pakai kecing bisa aja lewat sini, cuman nggak kebuka pintunya. Tempat apa nih? Hei.
This is where the water starts. Master Child probably dived into the water. The vegetation here is a bit more sparse. These traces aren't natural. A person must have left them, and recently. I should be going in the right direction. There are traces here too. I need to keep going. The traces are gone, but I don't see where he could have gone from here. Wait, what the? My heart is racing, and it's getting harder and harder to breathe. What's going on? No good. I have to get back. They still don't know anything about what's going on. If I turn back right now, I should still be able to make it.
Habis itu pingsan. Aduh, untung ditolong lu, frame minute. Masih sempet.
I can't die here. This. I have to push on.
Aduh. Ada yang nolong kok, ada yang nolong. Aman, aman, aman. Jadi itu kenapa frame rate bisa merasa tenggelam. Airnya di sini udah nyampur dengan primordial katanya ya.
So, in other words...
That's right. I tried my best to swim back, but I had already put some distance between...
Miss Clarand brought you back, but we also don't know why...
Miss Clarand, you say?
You're still too weak, Fremine. You can go after you've had some...
Miss Lynette is right. I believe Miss Clarand will stay here.
A guest?
You should ask His Grace about that. Yeah, it's about time he actually told us what's going on. Wanna come with us, Liddy?
No, please go on without me.
Lenny.
The logical part of my brain is aware that we're safe right now, but I still can't bring myself to leave. Both of you are just in danger.
Understood. Then let's just sit together for a while.
In that case, I'll leave the infirmary to you. The Traveler and I are going to head out for now. As long as you stay in here, I don't think you'll be disturbed.
Thank you.
Wah, zona terlarang. Obrolannya nggak cuman perihal teh, gue rasa mereka.
Excuse me.
I take it Mr. Fremine's condition has stabilized?
Of course. I wouldn't have left the infirmary otherwise.
I've been expecting those two, but might I inquire as to the purpose of your visit, Miss Siegewien?
I wanted to check up on Miss Clarand. How are you feeling?
Mostly fine, I think.
If you don't mind, I'd like to perform another quick fit.
All right. Thank you for looking out for me.
Well, want to explain yourself, Risley?
Of course, but I'm not partial to the word choice of explain. Where should I begin? How about you start by asking me any questions you have? You can start with whichever one you'd like to get answered the most.
Then Paimon will begin. Did you know about Lenny's goals from the very beginning?
No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave.
You managed to monitor and stay ahead of them even though you didn't know what they were trying to do?
They came here with ulterior motives. I'm quite adept at discerning what that kind of behavior signals.
Orang yang punya udang di balik batu.
Initially, I thought their goal was just to investigate child. Linny suggested that I had deliberately let him escape, but in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder. Of course, it's inevitable that the Knave would make a big deal out of her fellow Harbinger's unexplained disappearance.
Besok UTS apaan, Mi?
I'm also quite curious about
Besok
the
gue
way
lagi
that
libur,
Archon went.
jadi bisa berbahagia. Gue lanjut UTS lagi Senin sama Selasa.
All I care about is the answer.
Santuy banget dilihat. Iya, lu ngelihat gue lagi santuy gini, tapi lu nggak tahu minggu-minggu yang lalu gue mati-matian belajar kayak orang gila. Jadi ini adalah pembalasan dendam gue pengen nyantai dulu. Baru lanjut lagi Senin sama Selasa.
The Forbidden Zone has always been Linny's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him. I began to intervene out of concern for your safety, and also to prevent the fortress from becoming entangled in more irksome matters.
Are the rumors true? That you're also a former criminal?
Why would you put it like that? Isn't staying here all day and serving as the manager of the fortress a kind of sentence unto itself? Another form of prison? I just happen to have some support from the rest of the inmates. That's all.
Oh, right. Paimon wanted to ask, who invited
Me, of course. I paid her good mora to come down to the fortress for some field work. As a champion duelist, Miss Kelarin could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptionally capable person to help me get through the impending crisis.
And saving Fremine was part of that crisis?
You can think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is due, that boy is quite adept at diving. Had conditions not been as hostile as they were, that's not something you should be asking after. All I need to prove to you is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do with the Harbinger's disappearance. That should be clear now that you've spoken to Fremine.
We've already uncovered that there's something wrong with the infirmary, and we've answered a bunch of questions that you threw at us. Isn't it about time that you answer our last question in return?
You make a compelling case. Do you really want to know the answer that badly?
Yeah, Paimon really wants to know.
Even if the truth may not be pleasant? Follow me.
Waduh. Ini kemana cuy? Oh, masih di benteng.
No time to lose.
Ada jalan rahasia. Oke.
There's a hidden door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. You're pretty good at hiding stuff, Risley.
It seems you've forgotten just what kind of place the Fortress of Meripede is.
Berapa lantai nih ruang rahasianya? Satu doang.
Stand on the central plate.
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or... Whoa!
Tembus kemana nih?
So, this is the Forbidden Zone? Honestly, for a place so well hidden, Paimon sure doesn't see anything. What a huge door!
There are 3 such isolation gates in total. Generally speaking, I'm the only one who's allowed to go inside. Hence the name Forbidden Zone.
Okay.
Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your little Fatui friends everything?
Well, Paimon was...
Well, I'd advise you wait until you've seen the whole truth of this place for yourself before deciding whether...
Kita udah pakai main karakter, berarti ada sesuatu nih.
Huh. So there's a switch on the side.
Stand back.
Oke, zona terlarang ini berarti disegel sampai berapa lapis, gila.
Whoa. They all just went up one by one.
Go on, have a... I've been interested in what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meripede. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it, but it'd also be risky and negligent. The readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. But over the past year, the needle has crept upwards from its original position, likely because some parameter it's been... Normally, I would have ignored it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated. Any guesses what the reading could be tracking? Very reasonable guesses. I've considered both of those as well. Unfortunately, our dashboard is tracking something less ordinary. The temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more likely. We ran a few tests to increase the pressure from the outside, but the readings didn't change at all. Later on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with the primordial sea. I began to make a few preparations based on that. Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that, and the symptoms that Fremine displayed after leaving the fortress, I can now confidently conclude that the readings represent the concentration
of primordial seawater?
And that is precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded by toxic seawater. Somehow, primordial seawater got mixed in, and the concentration is steadily rising. Yes, that's very likely.
But forget about the two of us. Not even Novelette knows where the primordial sea could be, much— Oh!
Seems like you've figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate. For some reason, the primordial seawater levels have risen significantly, and it's now very close to us. The indicators are now red. Although the gate still stands, some primordial seawater has already leaked out and mixed into the sea around us. If this continues, soon it will no longer be able to hold back the primordial sea at all. Yeah, you know what the legends say. If this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into puddles in the span of a night.
Anjir, ramalannya itu ternyata berkaitan dengan benteng Miropait.
Too weird! Why would the Fortress of Meripede be built right above a sluice gate for the primordial sea?
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. To be honest, you might find the actual answer may be exceedingly boring. It's just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before I rediscovered it with my research. There's no single founder of the Fortress of Meripede in any traditional sense. When the previous Hydro Archon Egeria ruled the land, all convicted criminals from Fontaine were exiled. The people drove the criminals away like a wolf pack chasing away the banished. The criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. They were exiled to the desolate seaside, where they experienced only pain. Some of them began to repent and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. And so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build a fortress. They became a community down there in the deeps. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the community. When the first group of exiles died, they left the yet unfinished fortress to their successors. The Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing ever larger. And with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. They saw themselves as repenting sin, but as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their withered souls fade away after many, many centuries. Few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now they just see it as an integral pillar of Fontainian society. Now and again, researchers manage to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress. I learned all this.
But now you know every part of that history is true.
Damn.
Indeed. It's just as the prophecy says. If this gate fails, to be frank, not really. But sadly, that hasn't stopped this prophecy from proving all too accurate. Prophecies are troublesome things. Just hearing one will create the first wave of panic. Seeing signs of it will bring about the second, and actually witnessing it in real time, the third. Let's go somewhere else. I want to show you something.
Emang boleh semengerikan ini faktanya.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The results from our last round of experiments have...
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone!
Huh?
No need to panic, you two. I've already told them about our plan.
What? After you warned us not to tell a single soul about any of—
I'm skeptical as well. Are you—
The results speak for themselves, don't they? These two may already know more than you could ever.
All right then, if Your Grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
How about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the Fontaine Research Institute. He used to work under Edwin. I trust that you've heard of Edwin.
Gua lupa jadi bilangnya belum tahu.
He's the one who blew the whole institute sky high. Everyone knew he was a bit crooked in the head, but you're not local, so I guess it's possible for you not to have heard of him.
Edwin's main areas of research were archium and gravimeters. As his assistant, Jurier is quite familiar with them as well.
You want to blow up the Fortress of
What a lovely idea. I'm already imagining it in my head.
Anjir.
Gotta admit, I'm tempted as well.
Guys, focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical consultants. While Jerry...
Ooh, are they together?
See, everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure you're not a couple?
Your Grace, I am not in a
Allah.
If I dated her, I'd officially be madder than Edwin.
Jeez, forget I said
Bisa
anything.
yang begini nih jadian. Ikuti saja Rio.
Whoa, there's another door that goes right up.
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do anything.
Paimon kan heboh orangnya.
But Paimon really thinks everything's super cool.
Well, let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
What a huge ship! This is also a production zone that Paimon's never seen before. What's going on?
How much do you know about Fontanian history?
Not much at all.
Well, then maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria. To give you a quick rundown, Fontaine used to be ruled by the Lemurian dynasty. According to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation.
Gua harus cerna dulu nih.
The seer Sibila, who had taken on the form of a golden bee. Taking the golden bee with him and riding on a huge ship, the Fortuna, he created his nation above the surging waves. He called his nation Lemuria, and used the Fortuna to incessantly search for new tribes and islands, calling on them to join his empire.
There's a ship in this story too?
Where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that hope can always be found at the end of a voyage.
Do you believe that too?
To a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor, materials, and technology at my disposal. Certainly can't hurt to give it a try. So the moment I began to speculate that the primordial sea might lie underneath the gate, I also began this project.
Were you inspired by the legendary Fortuna?
Maybe. Fontanians need something to hold on to cope with the impending disaster. Were the workers to find out the truth behind this ship, riots would destroy the fortress faster than any catastrophe. As a
Bener sih,
fortress's
bener.
administrator, I'd never make such a reckless call. Alright, that's enough talking for now. I'll need another 3 cups of tea to soothe my throat. Seems like you're good.
Jadi dia mengemban beban yang sangatlah berat ya sebagai Duke, memikirkan
I'll leave you here for
segalanya.
now.
Oh, thank you so much.
No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want to share what you just saw. What you do from here on out will likely affect...
Yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into it.
Great. I look...
Off we go. We're back!
Welcome back. Do you want a cup of tea?
How can you be so much like Risley, always making tea?
Huh. Actually, now that you mention it, while I was sedated, I could still barely hear 2 people talking next.
Must have been Risley and...
Yeah, I heard one male voice and one...
I really can't make sense of this place.
So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able...
Yeah, he
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against... Yeah, I took the time to...
Nobody else is around, and Miss Sijuin is also busy with...
All right, then I'll posit my theories. I asked myself 3 questions. Firstly, why was Fremine affected by the primordial seawater? It was because he dove into...
Whoa!
That's our Lenny.
Secondly, Risley's attitude changed dramatically during the course of our stay here. He ignored it. I spent quite a long time thinking about this. If he has been monitoring the Fatui since the very... What's more,
The fortress of Meripede is not part of Fontaine's court system, nor does it report to Udex Nervulet. As long as the fortress doesn't do anything about Master Child's disappearance, Father can use it to pressure the Fontaine authority. If I had to guess, he probably has something that he's working on himself. It's likely related to the secret of—
You're super smart!
Pengamatannya boleh juga.
Thanks so much. If Risley does have a plan, what could it be? All I know for now is that his plan— that can't be the full extent of what he's doing. There's probably a secret passageway behind the block in the infirmary, and there's something big in the fortress that most people here never get to see. I don't have enough information, so I have no idea what his chip might be.
The sea will engulf everyone. Just like—
Could Risley have wanted to meet Father to figure out a way to deal with— If you remember, I once mentioned that Father sees the House of the Hearth as her base of operations, and she truly wants to resolve the crisis.
Or perhaps he didn't know and just wanted to bring Father over to his side?
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I understand your concerns as well, Traveler. The two of you have already aided us far too much. If you ever need anything else going forward, please come to the House of— Though you may not share the sentiment, after all that we've gone through together, the three of us basically see you as family.
You have my gratitude.
Thank you for protecting Linny when it really mattered. And thank you for sharing the secrets of the fortress with us. We didn't think you were going to—
Why are you being so formal all of a sudden?
Given your strength, you might not need our help at all. But if you are ever in danger—
Aww, the sound of that makes Paimon feel all warm and safe inside.
Ya, lapar dia.
Paimon's hungry.
Si Etra sampai bete.
Alright, then we'll catch you.
Tapi emang kita nyelidikin kasus mulu sampai nggak ada cutscene kita sarapan atau makan gitu. Wajar lah.
No time to lose.
It's time for dinner. Welfare meals now being set.
Anjay.
Let's go pick up ours as well.
Apa nih makanan ini?
Paimon, over here.
Sigwin.
Are you here for dinner too, Miss Sigwin? Mm-hmm. And I'm taking the opportunity to prepare Miss Clarin's dinner as— Huh. You're right. What would you like to eat? Yep, you can. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Wolsey. It's all on me today, so you can get whatever you'd like. Me too. Don't forget. No problem.
Waduh.
So delicious.
Mantap jiwa nggak tuh? Mantap jiwa udah sampai ke Genshin Impact.
I'm so happy. Feeling full yet? How's the food? Delicious. I'm so glad to see you all so happy. Oh, Sigwin, do you do this to help your patient? A bit of both, I suppose. I'm a Melazine, which means I'm very different from human beings. I must know what you're thinking if I want to take good. You're really good at taking care of people. Even though you're so short, you still talk and act. Really? You reminded— Oh, and what did you mean back in Risley's— Oh, that. I just asked His Grace to look out for those children. Especially, thankfully, Kelarin is very strong and managed to save him in the nick of time. His Grace also— Although the path was blocked, we still stationed some guards there to stop anyone from approaching. They were instructed to only open the door once Miss Kelarin had returned. Oh, and I was keeping an eye on Mr. Linny as well. You were all super considerate. It's just what we do down here at the fortress. At least this has been His Grace's style.
Yang gue tangkap sih pokoknya banyak banget perubahan setelah si Wirio Tesla ini ngambil alih posisi Duke. Karena banyak yang merasakan gitu dari NPC-NPC yang pernah kita ajak ngobrol kan. Duke nih bener-bener ngerubah suasana penjara. Lebih manusiawi lah dibuat sama dia.
So much has happened. Paimon just feels absolutely exhausted now that she's finally relaxed. Paimon's super sleepy. Are you sleepy too?
Dia ngorok anjir.
Delicious.
Lucu banget. Tidur. Kenapa nih? Wah, kejadiannya nih. Ramalannya kah?
Who's yelling? Paimon still wants to sleep.
Airnya udah bocor kah air primordialnya?
What happened? Why is everyone running around?
Orang pada lari anjir.
No time to explain, mate. Goodbye.
Hey, what?
Tenang,
What's
tenang.
wrong with these people? They won't even talk to
Kita
us.
main karakter jadi tidak usah panik.
They're here! Yeah, there you are!
Oh, thank goodness!
Quisto and Lavaroon, do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to inform you. Something seems to have gone. Lavaroon was saying you two are new here and you don't have many friends, so you might slip through the cracks. Haven't you heard all the stories like that? An evacuation is successfully completed. Yet you only—
Wait, weren't you the one who brought that up? Why?
Hey, shut up!
Okay, whatever. The point is, you should come with. Yeah, he said to get his fuck.
Udah lah.
Oh no.
Baru juga diceritain langsung kejadian anjir.
Oh, wait, what? What? Hey, where are you?
We have to go find the Duke. You two just go and get out. Go on without us.
Wah, kalian NPC mending nurut kita deh. Kita nih real main karakter.
Be careful.
Attention, please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible.
Tenang, tenang. Kita main karakter, tidak perlu cemas, tidak perlu cemas.
Attention, please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If
Orang,
you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible.
gue penasaran deh orang-orang ini beneran pada lari.
His Grace has asked everyone to evacuate outwards as quick.
Attention, please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards
What are
and
you waiting
outwards.
for?
If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible.
Orang-orang pada lari, kita masuk ke kantornya anjir. Kita main karakter, kita harus berperan.
They're here.
Just like I said. You're just in time. But be ready to run. run.
This won't hold it for long. Find Neuvillette. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Then what will happen to you?
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense. The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
That depends on us.
Oh my god. Anjir, merinding gua. Gua nggak nyesel bakal nyelesain ini quest, Cok. Sini keren banget, bro. Kita harus buru-buru cari Neuvillette.
Traveler, I need you to head to the Opera House immediately. Farina will soon be meeting with the knave there. You must protect Farina and make sure she doesn't spend too much time alone with her. Will do. You have my sincerest gratitude.
Nah, tiba-tiba kita naik ke atas. Akhirnya kita naik ke atas lagi, guys. Gue penasaran tuh kelanjutannya yang di bawah tadi tuh.
Look, there are a ton of Fatui and Palais Mermonia people over there.
Gue tadi ngantuk banyak dialog sampai ngeliat cutscene tadi jadi kayak nggak ngantuk anjir.
Though I'm sure he's already explained, this should be a mostly cordial conversation, unlikely to give rise to violence.
Oke, Melusin yang di sini emang beneran kayak Melusin, cuman Melusin yang di bawah penjara tadi tuh kayak bukan Melusin gue liatnya. Waduh. Kenapa nih? Traveler.
Oh, so you two are the honored guests Miss Farina mentioned.
Of course, of course. How could they not attend a meeting such as this?
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler.
Waduh, anggun banget gila duduknya anjir. The Knave ini.
I am the Knave, one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers.
Bukan orang sembarangan ya.
I've already prepared seats for you. Come, sit beside me.
Sebelah
Perhaps you two are
Archon.
unaware of how Miss Farina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to see this. This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Farina simply adores.
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. You do share a taste in desserts with Furry. I wonder how he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right? He's suddenly gone missing.
Since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something.
Oh, so you're also familiar with his aptitude for
Si Farina ini gampang diintimidasi sama the Knave.
I almost forgot. Child was subdued by Udex Neuvillette right in front of you. Against ordinary people, my colleague would never be on the back foot. But alas, he just never imagined he'd run into such a person. Coming from you, that's not surprising at all.
But I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news somewhat earlier.
Well, in any case, there's no need to worry. We
know.
Because we found evidence that proved he left the fortress.
And where did he go after leaving the fortress?
Aduh, Paimon ini. Dia ngebocorin ember banget, woy. Ya.
The fortress of Meripede lies deep beneath the waves. Unless he pranced right out of the main gate, he must have had to swim for it. Ah, that is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago. Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter made me feel like we were still enjoying our time in Snezhnaya.
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long as the contents are Hold on. The water in the teacup is shaking.
Gempa.
I suppose this is also a sign of things to come.
Huh? I don't quite understand what you're trying to say.
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
Obrolan bukan sekedar obrolan anjir. Oh, ini suasana di bawah.
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure.
Wow.
Sigma.
So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Wah.
Sounds about right.
A day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day. This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe. This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
Wow.
All right. Seems like the problem inside has been suppressed.
Let me guess. We're safe for now.
Indeed. But only for now.
I win this bet. You owe me a present.
Very well. It was indeed just as you said.
You made a bet?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Kelarin thought you...
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake. It appears...
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now? That's just how the courts operate.
So what gift must the loser give?
He already has tons of tea in his office.
That wouldn't happen to be a
Kita perundang-undangan.
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to be outside the law.
I was under the impression the residents of a place like this would be uninterested in the legal...
That was obviously a joke. Anyway, you've still got some unfinished business to attend to in the overworld, correct?
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Marmonia for long.
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly with the...
I must say, Miss Farina, as the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomenon we just witnessed.
What are you trying to say?
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives. Allow me to speak to you now as just a Fontanian. Yet, Here you are, relaxing, drinking tea, and eating desserts as if it's all nothing more than a few stray bugs in your garden. The prophecies hanging above our necks like a guillotine. Every faction is looking for a way to either avert the disaster or save their own. Even the orphans of the House of the Hearth have devoted everything to saving their homeland. But you? It beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree you have been.
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy, nor have I just been passing the time in self-indulgence. Retract your accusation and stop doubting the wisdom of the gods.
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. Oh, great Hydro Archon. How are you going to save them? Save us?
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Eve Fontaine will be saved. Even if I still cannot see the true future.
Then I ask you, Miss Farina, just what have you been working on? Where can we...
My machinations are just like the prophecy itself. They will only reveal themselves at the fated time.
I see. As a god, the proof of your labor always lies beyond prying more.
Arogan banget si Furina ngomong ke Ruknef.
Allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for you to tell us the part? Oh, that look in your eyes. Have you not even prepared one of those?
Waduh.
The emergency response plan is up.
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Farina,
what
is the purpose of your oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinal? And what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnitium that has accumulated over the years?
The oratrice? It's just...
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the oratrice in the Opera House. You see, but even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly... Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Nouvillette is not at the tea party with...
yes, that's...
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss Farina, you... Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left. Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the UTS. You too, Paimon.
Thank you. Paimon will take you up on that offer.
Weh, abis. Mukbang.
Paimon's super full. If it's on my tea table, it must be at the
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored to be featured at Miss Farina's table. It is getting late. Why don't we call it a day?
Very well.
Mind seeing me off, traveler?
Paimon's coming.
Ngobrol dulu sama Furina. Panik nggak?
The tea party.
Aduh. Duduk bareng. Ya nggak bisa bareng duduknya. Halo.
Water jet! Water jet!
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, child was just an excuse.
That's what Paimon thought.
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth. As their father, I would like to express my gratitude. Do I look like an irresponsible father to you? The house, that was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings. I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get anything out.
They've all been working very hard and have always done all they can to fight.
You mean Writhsley. He's a tricky one to deal with. It's unfortunate. By the way, and you can just consider this a bit of idle gossip, you are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move around most easily.
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Child was declared guilty and immediately transported to the fortress of Meripede.
Itu pengawalnya udah berapa kali kita bunuh tuh.
Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all the trouble he has caused? Forget it. He did give us an opportunity. I will be meeting someone shortly.
Do you require help with any preparations?
No need. I will take care of it myself. I need to meet with Farina, the Hydro Archon. She is at the heart of Fontaine.
Oh, come over here, you little critter, you. You dare to run from me? Stop right this instant!
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to approach Farina to be handed to me on a silver platter. This is so easy, it's actually making me a bit suspicious. Anything left unguarded is usually just bait. But no one will blame someone for taking the bait. After all, from the moment it was attached to the hook, the bait is meant to be sacrificed.
Waduh.
It's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. The Hydronosis is not currently held by the... In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all.
Who are you? And what are you trying to do? Please don't kill me!
The fear in her pupils is genuine, so perhaps she's not bait after all. I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Focalor. I suspect even Farina dares not mention this incident to anyone.
Kasian
Not
juga.
long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed.
Tapi emang dia tuh kayak sampai sekarang ini belum mencerminkan sosok Archon gitu.
Scared that she could not sleep that night.
Yang kayak Archon malah New Village.
To eat her cake. There's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I began to entertain the possibility that she is not the true Hydro Archon. I have to find the Gnosis. If the Neuvillette hypothesis is correct, he...
Yes, Father.
My dear children, please speak.
News from the fortress of Meripede. Master Child has gone missing.
Probably the handiwork of that... I'm afraid so. This is a good opportunity. The value of a harbinger is much higher than most would imagine. We now have an excuse to exert diplomatic pressure on the Set up a meeting for me. I would like to meet the... Oh, and...
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make a breakthrough. The initiative belongs to the House of the Hearth. My wish to investigate the fortress of Meripede will be a front. Lenny and his group will be responsible for the actual intelligence gathering. You should know the rest. Lenny's group is quite close to you, so it wouldn't mean anything even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all, even Farina herself is still I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Farina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more inscrutable than I had imagined. I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon conducts and carries themselves. Whether Udex Nuvillet or Farina, neither
Berarti
fits the bill.
masih
It's hard to
cuman
imagine
kayak
either of them was
dugaan-dugaan
the
doang
Archon.
ya. Archon yang
Of
sesungguhnya
course,
tuh masih
that is all
misteri di.
just how I feel. It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years' work, don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? A catastrophe looms, yet many secrets have yet to rise. Ultimately, though, one must survive in order to do you don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve. And as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work
Waduh.
together someday.
Datang nih. Nopal.
He certainly returned quickly.
Nevertheless, is it a...
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. I'm concerned that sooner or later the prophesized events will occur.
Oh gila.
Thank you
Ini
for
Archon
protecting
Quest kapan
Farina.
selesai guys ya? Ngantuk gua.
To put it simply, I used my power to force back the primordial sea and reseal the sluice gate. So as expected, the knave has turned permission granted.
Whoa. It can't be that you're the real... You can't tell us? That...
If by the phrase "you guys" you are referring to Farina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I believe so. The fortress has a long and complex history. It has seen much grief and now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us. I mourn.
Huh?
New Village lagi sedih fix. Kan sempat ada yang mengatakan kalau kan dia lagi sedih.
You may be closer to the truth than you think.
Oh? And what are you thinking? The dragon of... huh?
Ya ampun.
Please
Paimu.
don't be so surprised.
Kaget tidak perlu sampai seperti. Farina. Farina? Buka review bang. Waduh lagi enggak bro. Ini aja gua habis Archon Quest ini mau tidur. BTW thank you udah sempat mampir.
You guessed correctly. I sincerely hope you'll be able to keep this a secret for me.
Right, of course. We'll definitely help you keep it a secret. There's still something Paimon wants to ask you, though.
Please, go ahead.
Well, if you are the dragon sovereign of water, and you were able to force back the primordial sea from the fortress, then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about seawater...
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world, myself included, they say that when the first usurper arrived on Teyvat, they seized a part of the dragon's power. Today,
there are 7 elemental archons.
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, I know far less of that part of our ancient
Sedikit
history.
kecewa ya
In any
maaf.
case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Archon disappears and returns their elemental authority to me. Given the status quo, however, I would recommend finding another way to deal with it.
Oh, so even...
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office. If you have it...
please go right ahead. There's a place that Paimon wants to go too. We'll see you another time.
Take care.
Adventure time. Off we go.
Harusnya bener lewat sini.
Now guess.
Well, look who it is.
Si Freminute masih kelenger anjir gara-gara
Hello, everyone.
gara-gara yang terkontaminasi primordial itu.
Oh, right.
Whoa, how did she...
She told me that it was nothing.
She didn't want to stress you out, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay, but check this out.
You meant father?
She said a few things that were, a bit...
Her attitude towards you is even... You should believe her. She has her own way of doing things, and she'll do everything in her power to help those she can...
Father is very capable, and also... Oh, Paimon just remembered that she thought Lenny was a...
Hey!
Are you going to stay? Looks like it. Excellent. I will host a tea. For real? Another implies that you were already served some delicious... Well, next time, you're going to have tea and snacks with us.
No time to lose. Yeah.
Sigwin.
Sigwin! Traveler! Paimon! Are you still doing alright? We're fine, but what about you guys? A few people sustained superficial injuries, but that's about the extent of the damage. Monsieur Nervulette paid us... Oh, of course. How did Nervulette... Monsieur Nervulette has strong resonance with the hydro element. When the water level rises, I ran into the bombshell bros while
Berarti
bandaging the injuries.
dari ramalan ini yang paling overthinking sebenarnya si New Village ya, karena dia aja tahu gimana tekanan air lagi naik gitu.
If you're not too pressed for time, just let me know if you get a craving for any particular dish, so I can have Mr. Walsey get your meals prepared. I'd like to take the opportunity to spend some more time.
You guys are back?
You guys didn't get caught in...
And here I thought you'd managed to escape from jail during all the commotion. I'd held you up as legendary jailbreaker.
We're
All right. There's no need to get caught up in the details.
Hey, it wasn't just me.
I was also transferred to work in the kitchen. Whenever he'd say that, I'd tell him I'm sure they're fine.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with worrying about your prison pals.
These two. They sure are a lot warmer and friendlier than when Paimon first met them.
Oh, well, if you say so. I'll be watching you to...
Waduh. Kelas kita ke kantor, ketemu Rio kayaknya.
Adventure time. Adventure time.
Gila ya, Archon Quest lama banget, sumpah.
Off we go.
Apakah ada kelarin sama Rio? Oh enggak.
Courier? Miss Siege...
Yeah, I was working on something, so...
That's no excuse for...
Hey.
Hello there. It's been quite the...
And you? Are you still taking the secret
Yep.
It can be a bit annoying when there are lots of...
I mean, the
Oh, yeah? Then what?
You two really are just...
Not at all!
Do my eyes deceive me, or did I just see 2 inmates come back after?
We wanted to see how the fortress is doing.
We're fine for the most part. Neuvillette came down and took care of the...
If that's the case, why don't you just...
Oh, yeah, what a brilliant plan. Let's go convince the UTS himself. He came here in a hurry and left without even stopping for a cup of tea. He did remember to take Miss...
He sure sounds...
Miss Kelarin has left as well. She...
Were the gifts milk...
Neuvillette got the milkshake.
Those are...
Well, it's Neuvillette's own fault for making Sigewinne worried about his... Oh, and I have some gifts here for...
Are these from
Nope. They're from... You've already wrapped up your work at the fortress, so you can return to the surface at any time. You...
For real? Then we could stay here for a...
You may access the cafeteria. Just remember to come complete your paperwork once it's time.
Adventure time! Off we go!
Ini Archon Quest-nya kapan selesai ya? Harusnya sih dikit lagi sih tanggung.
We're back in our cell again. We're no longer prisoners though, so it really doesn't feel the same. Being free. Huh? How did you know? Hey, it's like we've now gone to so many places. There are so many bad things in the world, and we're just 2 people, but we've still been solving problems no matter where we go. You're counting Paimon today?
Semoga Paimon tidak berkhianat sampai akhir. Itu aja pesan gua.
Then let's ask Catherine to give Paimon an advantage. Just start that. The last time we fell we should be safe now. All right then. Good night to you, traveler.
Anjay. Weh. Ada paus gede banget, si Cilde ngambang. Weh, Archon Quest kelar guys. Berhasil menamatkan Archon Quest page berapa nih? Gua sampai lupa. Wes, ini dia tadi yang kebawa mimpi ya guys, karena udah malam 11.30 dan gue bener-bener butuh yang namanya istirahat ya guys ya. Jadi gue mengakhiri dulu streaming gue pada malam hari ini. Buat kalian yang udah mampir, gue berterima kasih buat karena udah selalu support channel gue ya dengan cara like, komen ataupun share dan menonton streaming gue. Gue berterima kasih juga buat yang nonton setelah gue selesai live streaming, ngikutin konten gue. Dan ya kesimpulan gue pribadi dari quest ini adalah epic banget sih. Gue gak sabar nunggu patch-patch kedepannya dan ngejalanin Archon Quest selagi gue mampu dan bisa menjalankan quest dengan memanfaatkan waktu yang ada. Ya seperti yang kalian harus ketahui, gue masih UTS dan jadi mungkin minggu depan gue baru bisa live streaming lagi ya, karena Sabtu sama Minggu mungkin gue spend waktu buat keluarga ataupun ya belajar. Buat Senin dan Selasanya masih ada UTS gitu. Ya gue bersyukur bisa manfaatin waktu di hari Jumat ini ya, bentar lagi Sabtu, untuk live streaming aktif kembali di YouTube. Itu jadi bagian dalam hidup gue yang tidak pernah gue sesali. Oke, akhir kata gue Miguel Bonaventura pamit undur diri ya. Sampai jumpa di lain kesempatan dan ditontonlah video tugas-tugas gue yang tugas kuliah gitu, karena itu jadi konten gue. Dan di kedepannya mungkin bakal ada podcast gue bersama temen gue bakal aplikasikan ke YouTube gue. Nanti saksikan aja, karena masih gue berunding sama temen gue juga buat nge-share podcast gue namanya Mangkas. Tapi kalau misalkan kalian mau dengerin langsung podcast gue, bisa kalian cek di Spotify, ketik aja Mangkas, MANGCAST ya, Mangkas, Mamang Podcast. Nah, itu adalah podcast gue bersama temen gue berkedok menyelesaikan tugas UTS gitu. Ya gitu aja dari gue. Terima kasih yang sudah menyaksikan. Sampai jumpa di lain kesempatan. Bye bye. Wah gila si New Village, parah. Jadi pengen ngepull cuman udah lewat, ya ampun.